Miss Steele here. So this week we've been talking about art movements and emphasis. So we're going to be working on an optical illusion artwork, which is an art style, an art movement. Optical illusion art is typically something that makes it a little bit harder for our brain to process the artwork. And we're also going to be working with emphasis. So focus on your artwork. You want a white piece of paper. I actually have a half sheet right here, and I think it'll work just fine. A pencil and an eraser, markers, or something to color in with, a ruler, and then we want to draw a circle on here. You can draw 1 or 2 circles. I think I'm going to try 2 for my points of emphasis. So I have this jar so I can trace around the lid so it's easier for me to draw a circle. So I'm going to move this out of the way, and what I'm going to do first is I am going to draw 2 circles randomly on here. And these are going to be my points of emphasis. So where I put my circles is kind of up to me. I think I'm going to do them right here and right here. You can add 1 or 2 circles. You want them to be at least bigger, or at least right around the size of your fist. You don't want them to be too big or too small because we're going to be coloring these in. And what we're actually going to do on these 2 is we're going to add a checkerboard pattern, but we're going to use rounded lines like this because we want this to look round. So I'm going to do the same thing over here, and I add 1, 2, 3, and 1 on this side. And then I'm going to do the same thing going the other way, like that. I'm not going to add in too many lines because I'm going to be coloring these in and I don't want to make it harder on myself later. So now I have these done. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a checkerboard pattern in the background. And I could do 1 inch or inch long or half-inch ones. And I think I'm going to do 1 inch. So anywhere, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And now I'm going to not draw inside my circle. I'm going to draw around it, but I'm going to add in those straight lines. Going this way. And then I'm going to do the same thing going the other way, which is why we needed that ruler. Your paper might be a different size than mine, but I think having them go around by 1 inch is a good length. And then I'm going to do the same thing going this way. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Adding just slight little ticks where I want to make these lines. And then again, going around my circle, trying to make for sure my ruler is as straight as possible. You know, if one line isn't perfectly straight, that's okay. What in life is? Perfect, that being said. So now we have something that looks kind of like this. And what we are going to do is we're going to color both of these in a checkerboard pattern. So you could use just one color. I think I'm going to use black and white. Oh, I had to sneeze. I'm going to start out with my circles, and then I'm going to color in my background. So what I want to do is color in my background and these circles like a checkerboard. So filling in one, skipping the next, and then these circles are going to be our point of emphasis. So I'm going to start getting this colored in, and then we'll move on to our next step. But you can see I've already kind of started coloring this in, and then I'm going to do the same thing for the background, but I think sometimes the circle is a harder part, so I thought we could do this one first. So I'm going to work on getting this all colored in, and then we'll check on it whenever I get it done. Then we'll do our next one, and then we'll make our background. Alright, so I have my first one filled in, and now I'm going to do the same thing for my next one. So I'm going to get this all filled in, coloring it in like a checkerboard like I did for this one. And then we're going to finish by coloring in our background like a checkerboard and using maybe a black colored pencil to add some value. I haven't decided that yet. But I'm going to keep coloring this, and then we'll move on to our next step. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the background, and I'm going to color this in like a checkerboard. So I'm using black and white, but you can use whatever color you may like. But whenever you're coloring in, you want to purposefully go around those circles, because you don't want to color in those circles once you have them done. You just want to work around them, because that's a part of the illusion. So I am going to start coloring this in like a checkerboard, meaning you color one, don't color the next. Color one, don't color the next. And then we will check on this once I get more of it colored in. I like to outline my square and then color it in. Like I said, I'm using black and white, but if you wanted to use red or orange or whatever color really speaks to you, if there's a specific color you want to use, you can use that. But I think the easiest is just using black and white. So now once I get to the second row, I have some that go around my circle. So I want to be mindful about not coloring in that area. And then we're going to finish by cleaning up any pencil lines that might be hanging out and adding actually some shading to this. I wasn't going to originally, but I think it looked really nice. So I'm going to go grab a black colored pencil while I am working as well for some of my finishing touches. So I'm going to keep getting this colored in, and then we will check on this once I have it all colored in so we can move on to our next step. Alright, so I have this almost done. The only thing I want to do now is grab a black colored pencil so I can add some shadow onto these. So now using a black colored pencil, I'm just going to go around this, and I'm going to press harder and then get lighter as I go around this circle. Some of it might be covered up by where I've already colored. That's going to help it look like it's really popping out of the paper. So I'm just going around and I'm pressing harder, and then I get lighter and lighter as I go out. To help make this look more 3D. Like that. And so now I'm going to do the same thing over here on the other side. Pressing harder and then getting a little bit lighter as I work my way out. So I'm pressing lighter with my pencil. I'm going to go all the way around this circle and work on it like that. Getting lighter as I go around. Like that. Now what I can do as well is I can use just a normal eraser, and if I have any pencil lines hanging out on the inside of this, I can get those cleaned up. And if I have any pencil lines hanging out in my grid, I can try to get those cleaned up. And just like that, we will be finished because we made an optical illusion artwork using emphasis, the emphasis being the two other circles on here. Let me turn on the brightness. I can't wait to see how yours come out, and I will see you all next time. Have a wonderful rest of your morning, your evening, whenever your afternoon, whenever you're watching this. Bye!